Hi, super friends. So I wanted to show you something that I call conversational scripts. And I know there are quite a few different terms for it, so I did have a little bit of trouble looking it up. But I wanted to show you what it looks like, why it's evidence-based, and how you can easily do it in your school or wherever you're practicing speech therapy for social skills for children or even adults. So if you go into Google Scholar and you put in terms such as conversation scripts for autism, then you're going to get something that looks a little like this. And what you'll see is on the right, anything that's on the right is going to give you the actual article. So let's see, this first one is about video modeling. So I'm not going to click on that because what I want to show you is not about video modeling. But this one, teaching children with autism to engage in conversational scripts, exchanges, script fading, we can click on that one. And this article, I read through it briefly. It goes through having conversational exchanges when there is a script about snack time or video games. And you can see over here the baseline is that they are not making any statements at all. And then when they add in the treatment, which is the scripts, you can see that they start to use a whole bunch more statements. That's compared to the unscripted statements, which stay down here with the dark circles there. And then you can see that happens with Rice Krispie treats, it happens with video games, it happens with gummy savers, pretzel sticks. Now this is really interesting. This kiddo, Lou, he went way up when the script was introduced and then he just flatlined, right? He stayed right here, which is probably the number of statements that was actually on the script. But look down here at his unscripted statements. Nothing, 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 nothing. And then around treatment number 27, he starts to pick up going, I can make some statements. And by treatment session 40, he's way up here and he is making a whole bunch of unscripted statements, which of course is the ideal and what we really want the students to do. And then they tried it again with video games. So they waited a few sessions, tried it again, and he also increased both his scripted and unscripted statements. And then look down here with Skittles. He flatlined up here at the number of statements, and his unscripted went way up and it matched the number of scripted. So that's pretty darn cool. Let's go back over here. Here's another article. This one is from 2008. It's the impact of social scripts and visual cues on verbal communication in 3 children with autism spectrum disorders. We can click on that. It's going to show us this article. And this article, again, I just briefly went through it, but this was looking at kiddos who have a reading script. Here's an example here, and what happened when they were given these scripted statements. So, like before, we have a baseline when there's no script at all, and then the scripts are introduced. The clear or white boxes here are the scripted statements, which we would expect to go up when the intervention was started. But we also have our dark dots here, which are the unscripted statements, which also, in fact, go up because of the, well, we think because of the intervention that was put in place. Then what they did is they took away those scripts completely to see what happens when they take away the script, and the scripted statements went back down to 0, and the unscripted stayed really high for one session, and then they went back down to 0 too, indicating that having the scripts available did seem to make a pretty big difference in how many statements these different children were using. Okay, so based on the fact that there is evidence to support this, I created this handy dandy scripts page that you can use with your students. And so what you need to do is go in here, and the easiest way to do it is to literally print this out and then fill it in. However, you also, as long as I can figure out how to get into it, of course I can't get into my own PDF. Okay, so don't know what the weirdness was about, but I think I have it figured out. So one of the things that I'm using this for right now is teaching one of my students who experiences autism to play Go Fish. So the conversation is for Go Fish, And this student's name is M, so I'm going to put his name in here, and I'm going to put my name in here. I'm going to say, M is going to start our conversation by saying, do you have a whatever it is, and a question mark. And then I could say one of two things, right? I could say, yes, I have it. Or I could say, no, I don't have it. Go fish. And that's why I've been having trouble, because my Adobe keeps crashing. Okay, so you get the idea. You can fill this in and you can make your own script, and then you can go through the different rules or the different scenarios. Like you could have it so that they say, yes, I have it, and then the student, again, student M goes, great. Or, no, I don't have it, and student M says, oh, bummer. And you can make up your own rules for what kind of conversational script you're going to have. What I found, my experience with Go Fish in particular, because I keep using it with Go Fish, is that my students are learning how to play the game and taking turns, and I can take away the script after a while and it's still working, and the kids have now learned a play skill, which is really awesome, not only because they've learned this script, but also because they now can play a game with their family. And I've taken a movie of this before and sent it home to their families, and families are so excited because now their kid can play a card game with them at home, which expands their leisure activities and at home as well as with their peers. So I hope that you find this conversational script useful. You can use it for all sorts of things, but again, I've been primarily using it for teaching some leisure time activities.